Coccidia is something that is very common in goats, especially, from ages about 3 weeks to about 5 or 6 months, especially during the periods where they're weaning. That's kind of when you're going to see it the most. But what coccidia is, it's actually a protozoa. It's not a worm. So using dewormers on it is not going to do anything. But it's a protozoa that basically causes severe diarrhea in young kids. Again, kind of younger than 6 months old. So what makes coccidia tricky is that it can cause symptoms and cause issues for your goats even before a fecal picks it up. So before they start egg shedding. So if you have a kid that has severe diarrhea and, you've ruled out other types of worms, their FAMACHA still looks good, stuff like that. Coccidia also has like a specific smell to it. It's just like a lot of diarrhea with a lot of smell. So you'll kind of know. They'll also be very dehydrated. Their eyes could be sunken in because they're dehydrated. Their coat could look rough. They could have a big round belly because they're not getting nutrients the right way, and it can cause a lot of issues. So coccidia can be something that is a pretty serious issue for your goat and gives them a lot of trouble and makes them really, really sick. Or it can be something that you can treat very easily yourself at home with the proper medicine. Now, you can take your goat to a vet, get a fecal and confirm, but like I said, it might not show up on the fecal if it's early on, but you can get medicine from your vet. Thank you, Sandy. What I personally like to use to treat coccidia is Toltrazuril, and it's always the 5%. Now, this is an off-label use for goats. It is not FDA approved for goats, but neither is most of the medicine we use for them. But it gets rid of coccidia very quickly. I think it had like 85% reduction in OPG after a couple days. In like the most recent studies. So this is by far my favorite treatment for them. There are other options that you can use, but if you are going to use Toltrazuril, again, make sure it's the 5%. The dosage for goats is 1 ml per 5 pounds once. I don't know what the bottle says. I don't care what the bottle says because it is not, on label for goats. It's used off label. What the bottle says doesn't matter, but common practice for goats is 1 ml per 5 pounds. Use it once, one day. If you need to repeat in 7 to 10 days, you can. Usually you don't, but if your bottle says to dose for 3 days in a row, that's not for goats. Don't do that. You will be giving them way too much. I do also have a dosing chart that says all that information, but coccidia can cause a lot of issues for kids. It can cause like stunted growth, especially if it's subclinical. You might not see all those symptoms, and it can actually damage the lining of their gut long term. So when it comes to prevention, dry, clean bedding is going to be your absolute best bet. It really thrives in wet and dirty conditions. So your goat sheds, your pens, everywhere, just keep them as dry as possible and as clean as possible. Coccidia takes about 2 to 7 days to become contagious. So if you're cleaning it out and, keeping things pretty sanitary and hygienic in there, then you're going to be doing a lot to cut down on infection rates and stuff like that. It is very hard to get rid of once it's there. Bleach doesn't really do much for it. So your best bet is just to keep everything clean, dry, and in good shape.